Over the last decade, you've been told over and over again that motorcycle comm systems are one of those must-have items, as if you're not really ready to ride unless you've slapped one of these on your helmet. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that I don't really use motorcycle comm systems anymore. I don't think they're essential. I think that the motorcycle content machine has convinced people they need comms in the same way it convinced them that having 215 horsepower is necessary to keep up with your friends, which, come on, it's not. The further I get into my riding career, the more I realize that motorcycling is supposed to be one of the last places on earth where you're allowed to just disappear. No notifications, no brain rot, just you, the bike, and whatever thoughts happen to wander across your mind. So, I took the comm system off my helmet, and honestly, I don't think I'm going back. Let's get into it. We seem to have lost our ability to enjoy the quietness of life. And by that, I don't just mean quiet as in less decibels. I think we all want our loud exhausts. I'm talking about the quality of mental space you enter every time you swing a leg over your bike. Motorcycling is one of the last pure forms of recreation we have left. When you're on a motorcycle, you can't doom scroll, you can't reply to your wife's text about dinner with whatever you want, dear. You can't habitually bombard your brain with TikToks until you feel like you're milked of every last drop of dopamine in your body. It is enforced presence, attentiveness, and ultimately peace. That is huge in this day and age. We're living in a time where researchers have been practically screaming from the rooftops that excessive screen time, including passive consumption, is fueling anxiety, depression, and dopamine dysregulation. Look, none of this is news to you, right? You're on YouTube, you should probably know this sort of thing. The Journal of Behavioral Addictions published multiple studies that show the psychological impact of constant digital stimulation, specifically linking excessive media exposure. You can think of that as mainlining Manosphere podcast into your prefrontal cortex directly via your Cardo headset. And that's causing anxiety scores that are way off whack and diminished emotional regulation. Another study found that constant digital noise actually reduces your brain's ability to enter resting states, which are essential for creativity and long-term mental health. This is kind of a big-brained way of saying that your brain needs silence. It needs boredom. It needs those empty spaces between thoughts where insight, clarity, and creativity start to percolate. We all need that quiet. But for a lot of people, silence feels threatening. Modern life has conditioned us to need constant inputs. We've developed the need to use mental screensavers to fill in those gaps. You use podcasts while you're doing chores, TikToks while you're brushing your teeth, YouTube videos while cooking. Riding needs to be preserved as a refuge from that cycle. Because honestly, I'm not immune from that myself either, but riding is my one place where it can't happen to me. Because once you slap a comm system onto your helmet and you got your phone mounted up on the bike, suddenly your mental oasis becomes just another moment to cram in more noise, another hour where you're expected to multitask, another opportunity to pump in an endless stream of podcasts or listen to whatever your buddies are yelling about the next lane over. But when you detox from comms, you rediscover something simple and ancient. You hear your motorcycle again, the rhythm of combustion, the RPMs rising under load, that granular feedback from changes in road surfaces, all those little things that connect you and the machine to the world around you. I think we're losing that magic, and I think it's worth fighting for. And bikes are special because motorcycles at their core are the purest form of automotive sport. There's no cabin, no insulation, no lane assist, no cowboy stitching like the plush seats of a Dodge Ram. You're just sitting on top of a combustion engine, gripping onto controls that transmit the entire experience through your whole body. Motorcycling is the closest thing we have to a man and machine symbiosis. That's obviously before Elon Musk's Neuralink, which we're all waiting so much for. It's a direct line from the drivetrain to your nervous system, and the more technological clutter we attach to the experience, the more it pulls us further from that connection. I don't know if you've seen those videos where people have like 5 or 6 different screens all stacked up on their cockpit. They've got 3 different Insta360s and cameras. It takes it away from the experience. It's supposed to be you and the machine, not you, the machine, 3 cameras, 6 screens, and the podcast bro in your headset yelling about the 17 lessons he learned from cold plunging in the Arctic. People get addicted to comms because they get addicted to content. But the whole philosophical point of riding is to escape the addiction, to exit the simulation. The other subtraction I've done lately, as I've mentioned, is not even mounting my phone to the phone mount. Yes, it is convenient for maps when I need it, or to keep it charged up if I need it, but honestly, the last thing I want to see when I'm cruising on my bike is yet another screen. So nowadays, I just chuck my phone in my backpack and go for a ride in silence. It's wonderful, and I feel like I've rediscovered motorcycling all over again. I can't help but feel as if one of the biggest reasons Bluetooth comm systems have become so ubiquitous is influencer marketing. Yeah, I know, bit of a dirty word, right? Mr. Yami Noob, Mr. Big YouTube channel, but please hear me out. I don't think most riders genuinely woke up one day and said, you know what I need? A $400 hockey puck stuck to the side of my helmet so I can hear Joe Rogan at 80 miles an hour. What happened is that the motorcycle content industrial complex gently and repeatedly nudged people in that direction until it felt normal. Cardo, Cena, these companies are everywhere along with their Chinese copycats. Sponsored videos, affiliate links, creator discounts, flash sales, bundled deals. If you scroll through motorcycle YouTube for even 5 minutes, you're gonna see all your favorite creators shilling comms. If you search Cardo on YouTube or Instagram, you'll see thousands and thousands of posts. Plus, on TikTok, short-form content creators use comms in their content because that's how you capture the genius-level commentary between society's most respectable 22-year-olds, the people we really want to listen to. Just because you can talk while riding does not mean you have to. And just because everyone is endorsing comm systems doesn't make them essential. I want motorcycling to stay accessible, to stay focused on what matters: proper gear, an affordable bike, and a good attitude. Those are essential. Everything else is ornamental. It's nice if you want it, but not required. Comms are a convenience piece of gear, not safety gear, not essential gear, not mandatory gear. And the influencer shill pipeline has convinced people otherwise. And yes, it bears repeating, before you jump down my throat, we have promoted Cardo in the past on this channel before, and they were a proud supporter of the channel. But please allow me to evolve, change, and grow over time with my opinion. If you've been thinking about becoming a member on yaminoob.co, now is the best time to do it. We've started new Discord-only micro giveaways. Every other week, I'm gonna be giving away to someone on Discord some tires, gloves, helmets, jackets, boots, anything I can think of that would help them on their motorcycle ride. If you're interested in winning consistent fun prizes, head over to yaminoob.co and become a member today. Of course, the best prize of all is winning a giveaway motorcycle. December 26th is the very last day you have to get in to win this bike. So head over to the website, become a member, and join and have some fun on the server. Now let's get back to the show. For a long time, a comm system would have been considered dorky even. There was a time when the only people rocking headsets were Goldwing dads in half helmets running a CB radio like they were air traffic controllers, a big microphone sticking out in their face like they were working customer support while riding across the Midwest. It was goofy, silly, and very father-coded, and like many of those things, it just worked and they needed it. But now, Bluetooth comms are everywhere, and suddenly, no one blinks an eye. It's normal and expected. We basically reinvented the Goldwing CB rig and made it small and sleek and premium. It's pretty ironic, honestly. It's proof that nerds have really truly taken over. Comms used to be lame, but now with some flashy Instagram ads and more affiliate codes than a Chase on Two Wheels description box, and comms are all of a sudden all the rage. I mean, think back to the 80s and 90s. The cool guys riding motorcycles had burner phones, no comm system, and were ripping wheelies on Gixxer Thous. Now, parallel twin dweebs with comm systems. How we have fallen. The most legitimate use case for comm systems is group rides. If you're doing a long haul with multiple riders, it's really nice to be able to coordinate directions, fuel stop hazards, or general navigation. They help keep the group together without having to understand, half a dozen hand signals and all the crazy stuff like that. But constant group riding and corresponding comm dependence is part of a bigger psychological trend among younger riders that is worth mentioning: the fear of being alone. Riding alone is one of the most important parts of becoming a motorcyclist, in my opinion. It builds independence, it results in a highly personal experience, and it's honestly just therapeutic. Not only is it okay, but I think it's damn near necessary to be alone with your thoughts. It's okay to have nothing to listen to. It's okay to treat riding as a solitary act, because fundamentally that's what it is. Group rides are fun for some, but riding across town with a 6-man leadership panel discussing lunch plans inside your helmet is not a holistic riding experience. That's just a mobile Discord server. There's a peace that comes with being alone on a motorcycle, a peace that comm systems disrupt. And I think younger riders deserve to discover that. Now, for me personally, I would say my ratio of riding in groups versus riding alone is probably 1 to 100. It's not that I'm antisocial, it's just that I've started treating my motorcycle riding as a practice in meditation and a time to reflect. It's amazing what thoughts have surfaced and how much more connected to my bike I've become. It's also pretty cool to see how much better you ride when you're not distracted by constant frivolous nonsense or notifications on your phone. It turns out it's pretty darn easy to avoid dangerous situations if you're already riding 100% focused and ready. Riding with a comm system and having your phone mounted on your bike is distracted riding. I don't care what anyone says. And aren't we supposed to be better than the cagers we complain about who are constantly driving and texting? Think so, right? Right when I thought motorcycle comms were getting excessive, it seems like smart helmets are back in the public eye. It seems like for the last few years, we were like, yeah, we don't need or want HUD displays, built-in cameras, built-in comms, or blind spot warnings in our helmets. But now they're back yet again with 3 new smart helmets recently unveiled. Cardo has their own proprietary smart helmet, Sena has one, and even Norton's new parent company, TVS, just announced one. And they're all framing it like the tech is normal. Oh yeah, these helmets have over-the-air software updates. It's totally cool. They emit a small amount of radiation, but I promise it's not going to give you brain cancer. Our last remaining analog sanctuary will now be accompanied with a wearable smartphone. Every day we drift further from God's light. Motorcycle gear does not need an ecosystem or a UI or software updates. The more techno gadgets we implement in our riding gear, the further we move away from what makes motorcycling special. I really don't need Siri saying, "What did you say? I didn't catch that," after I said, "Oh, trail braking is seriously the coolest thing ever. I think I should make a video about it," as I say that to myself while I'm exiting a corner. Motorcycling is supposed to be pure. It's supposed to be a break from the noise, a break from screens, a break from the constant babble of guru slop, a break from stimulation and consumption. Comms aren't necessarily evil, but they're unnecessary and in many ways antithetical to the ethos of motorcycling. They turn a meditative, introspective hobby into another opportunity to feed your brain more endless noise you're already drowning in. Try leaving the Cardo at home sometimes. Rediscover the silence, your thoughts, and the simple clarity that comes when you cut the tether. If you're always rocking a Cardo, listening to music, podcasts, communicating with people, if you've got your phone mounted and notifications going constantly, try just removing all that stuff, the phone and the Cardo, for your next ride. You'll be amazed at what you start noticing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Enjoy the ride.